that something that they should fear?
Let's just go over the bans a little bit, because EG did leave the IO in the pool, which is something that NIGMA played yesterday. DK is also still in the pool, which NIGMA actually opt not to go for. They pick Enchantress instead.
Yeah, this is a very well thought out opening. Very quick.
I mean, at this point in the meta, you know exactly what you want when you see these bans. Maybe it takes you a second or two to figure out what they've banned out if they haven't banned what you thought they would. But Enchantress has been picked by both of these teams many times.
Yeah, the important thing to note, like you mentioned, the fact that IO hasn't been banned, that's because they go invoke a Luna, you know? And you know EG loves playing this Timbersaw, and the way in which NIGMA has played up against Timbersaw is opening with a response of the Luna.
Yeah,
so,
Luna was the hero.
Exactly, yeah. So this is basically EG's way of saying, well, if you don't ban Timbersaw, we are just going to take it.
And they still go for... but this surprises me a little bit, because they still go for DK versus the Timber. And we have seen this in many games before DK into the Timber. Some games it worked, most of them it didn't, because you have this one tanky offlaner that can just plant himself in front of the tower and defend from all these early aggressions from the Dragonite. But so far what I've seen that works the best versus DK are heroes with percentage-based damage. So Phoenix with the Sunray was really good yesterday. Also Death Prophet from the mid lane with Siphon. We've seen some Undyings here and there too from PSG LGD, so...
It should also be noted that in Game 3 between EG and TNC, this was their exact opener. Timbersaw, Lion. And they ended up taking the Abaddon, Ember Spirit, and then obviously, well, Nature's Prophet was the last one for that one.
Nature's Prophet, yeah. Which is... Actually, Terrorblade in this game as well, when you think about Dragonite that you're playing, is that banned out? It's banned out. Never mind.
It's gone.
Never mind. Not gonna happen.
Again, to be very clear, this is EG. Like Terrorblade ban second phase, you kind of need to do it if you don't have an answer, because they are 5-5 for it. RTZ has not lost a game on it, and the reason why they are, in this position right now is early in the group stage, there were a couple games RTZ legit 1v9 with just defensive Sunders to get them through the game. And
it was the... He was playing the Terrorblade, and I believe he had Abaddon, the Dragonite.
Exactly, yeah.
It's one of those games, yeah. But overall, they ban out the Batrider next, as you need to. This Timbersaw needs to be protected. You want to have a hero that... you want to have Timbersaw that's completely dominating the laning stage and then being an unkillable beast afterwards. If you have a Luna, the lane becomes difficult. If you have a Batrider after the lane, right, like you just get killed off. Another hero that's really popular that's actually able to deal with Timber is perhaps a Storm, but they already picked the Lion, so...
And then there's
This is a really fast draft.
It is, yeah. It is disgustingly quick.
These teams seem to have whatever they, their lineups already set before this game even started. I mean, do you guys see that very often with like the, I don't want to call it a pocket strat, but you have an idea of what you want to do, and you've studied the other team so much, you know what they're already going to ban for the most part?
You can also fall into a trap when drafting like this, though, because if you know what you want and then you're getting it, you sometimes second guess yourself. It's like, wait a second, should we still be going down this route? Like, are we falling into this trap of every pick is just so,
Which in terms of coaches, Bulba doesn't have that problem. Like, just pick it.
Yep, first pick OD.
Which is exactly what happened last night to NIGMA. They got everything they wanted in their series versus PSG LGD, and it didn't work. They even got the Wisp.
And that's why they're not doing the Wisp. Potentially, it might be, a second phase pick that they go for, but I think yesterday it was a real showing of when you get a hero banned against you the entire tournament, when you finally get given it, instantly picking it isn't always the best option, because clearly the other team has gone...
Well, they did win with the first game, with the instant pick. The second one...
Yeah, exactly.
The second one didn't work.
Well, the second one was the first phase pick, so that's what I was mentioning.
The second one was just a problem of a game, and I believe if they do go for an IO, they'll face the same difficulties. Is this duo of supports? Yeah, I like this way more. And this is their bread and butter. This is something that has worked for them. Many times in a row, you get that percentage-based damage also versus the Timbersaw now. You prevent evil geniuses from picking the Phoenix, which would also be nice with the puck. And this combo isn't the greatest, but Dragon Tail plus Egg is pretty decent too. You eliminate one hero from hitting it for the majority of the duration.
Wombo combo.
The Wombo combo. Dragon Tail into Phoenix Egg.
Isn't this just like the Mirana pick for EG? I guess it could be a little bit awkward, but you put the Lion on 5, you now have...
It's perfect.
Mirana to deal with the Egg and the Enchantress.
I love that call. It's a perfect Mirana game because you can rotate away from the Timbersaw, you can put Lion on 5,
Yeah.
you're dominating Enchantress in the early game, and later on you're good versus Phoenix. I would love to see that.
Yeah, EG has flexed the Lion a lot between the 5 and the 4. They've actually played a lot of Earth Spear, which no other team has really done because of
Wow.
Oh, they go.
Wow.
The
Okay.
DOTA.
Witch Doctor against Enchantress for the
Ah,
extra
that's
stun on
it.
creep.
That's still a pretty cool pick.
It's,
but
it's
the idea.
yeah, it's not only versus the Enchantress actually. I think the idea behind the Witch Doctor is to find a support that can deal with the Dragonite in the laning stage. And Maledict is one of those tank breakers, so perhaps that's the real idea behind it.
And like NIGMA now in the final bans, potentially gonna have to think about like a Gyrocopter ban, because if you're putting like a DK Phoenix off lane into like a Witch Doctor Gyro, that lane is not gonna have that much fun. A lot of kill threat, but either way, NIGMA right now still has one more pick. We know Ench and Phoenix are their 4 and their 5, so revealing a carry here most likely that can lane into the Timbersaw.
All the melee scrappers, the Ursa, the Monkey King. Monkey King is still in, but probably not the hero of the meta. We've seen Secret give it a go, but didn't really work.
Are you worried about, from EG's side, not be able to kill the egg right now?
A little bit, yeah.
They
They don't have the heroes to do it. Puck perhaps can hit it, but he's not good. Witch Doctor, Lion as well. What about Spectre? Is Spectre still in the pool? It is.
Oh yes, it's
Something
a casual
they-
Spectre here would also be very, very strong.
It's something that they've drafted almost like before PSG LGD series because it was banned. They drafted it like 5 games in a row.
The thing with Spectre, we've seen how it has difficulties playing into Timbersaw, of course, but Enchantress kind of bridges that gap a little bit. Oh, they go for a
They go
troll.
with the troll instead.
Okay.
So I think the way that Troll can play this this game, he potentially needs to go for like the early Javelin to be able to actually lane in Timbersaw. Obviously, we don't really see like SMY rushes and stuff like that, but
It's just such a hard lane, and
Yep.
the way I see it and the way I've been seeing it for the last couple of months is,
Mhm.
you pick this troll because he's a power laner, but he's not stronger than Timbersaw. He can lose to this Timbersaw and Lion lane, but you really need to mess it up. You need to make a couple of mistakes because
Do you guys think there's any way that NIGMA puts Miracle on DK instead and goes for like a last pick Mars? Which is still not banned, which has been kind of the hero of the tournament for the most part.
it is the hero of the tournament. But I guess the only downside of that is the fact that you're kind of subscribing to more strength heroes. I think right now they've demonstrated they are able to play DK into unfavorable lanes, and they've often come ahead. So I'd actually like just to see Miracle have a bit more flair with his pick, just to give them a bit more of a nicer entry to the game. Because right now they lack that kind of connecting factor, that kind of active mid. Because these heroes, if they have an extra bit of support coming into the side lane, they can find kills. But yeah, I don't think DK is that
they
mid hero.
actually refused to pick Dragonite into the puck on mid lane yesterday. They had 2 games, 2
That's true,
opportunities
yeah.
to put Dragonite into the puck, which is considered a favorable lane for the Dragonite, and they still refused to do it. They would still always put Dragonite on the offlane. But maybe today they will switch things up.
Sometimes it
and
does
still
feel like a waste putting DK on somebody like Miracle, who's
Yeah.
just such a high skill cap.
like DKs, Vipers.
Wait, you're
Phasers.
saying DK is not high skill?
It's a no. I mean, Arteezy calls the mid lane a no skill lane in general.
That's
so.
3 buttons you have to press in quick succession. That's blink.
Wow.
Sorry, I even did it wrong. That's how hard it is. It's ultimate blink stun. If you're lucky, some right, that's 4 buttons.
Very difficult.
I love how people aren't even leveling up Breathe Fire anymore. Leave it on level 1. It's all about the stun, but all about the stun and the armor.
I think that's the first time in Dota history, I want to say, that the meta has Dragonite leveling the stun. It's always been a
it's
value
always been
level
1 level, and
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
it has
is
a
the
really
longest
good
single
sound
target
too.
stun in the entire game.
Team NIGMA's final bans, PL and Naga. Of course, that's a lot of respect towards Arteezy. Now, 3 of the heroes are the illusion heroes. Rather annoying.
So yeah, we're looking for an Arteezy carry for EG, and then NIGMA still looking, we assume, is the off lane here, right?
I still really like Gyrocopter for
Gyro,
EG.
yeah. I wouldn't even mind the Nature's Prophet that they've drafted before. So one big idea behind the Nature's Prophet is the possibility to split push, right? He's always been the rat, and when you think about how the meta has developed with all these Lunas and hero, actually Luna, even more so than any other hero, loses the matchup versus Nature's Prophet later on. But the dead ball push can be prevented if you have heroes that can split